Hey everyone, I'm going to do a week 2 instructional video just to kind of give you an idea of what is coming up for week 2. So I do also want to do a little more discussion about the professional project because that's coming up pretty quick in terms of some of the options you have. So I'm going to talk a little more about that in this video, and then I'm also going to talk about your first applied technology project. So for your professional project, if you click on that, it'll tell you. So the purpose of this assignment is to engage in and become familiar with the range of professional development offered by national, state, and local professionals. So there is a list of, so what you're going to do, the directions are you're going to choose a professional development workshop, webinar, conference, session, school site PD. So if your school's doing professional development in STEM, you can do that. So your goal or your task is you'll summarize the PD for your peers using a video format. So I've suggested some options for PD if you don't already have something in mind. One really important and interesting one that's coming up very quickly is the Oregon Science Teachers Association conference that they're doing. That's their annual conference, and it will be actually October 9th and 10th. Let me pull that aside here so you can see the list. This is the list that I created for you of, let's do one page at a time here, and maybe make that a little bigger so you can see it. So, so the Oregon Science Teachers Association is partnering this year with the Washington Science Teachers Association to do a joint annual conference. And so this is a 2-day conference on October 9th and 10th. That's actually starting Friday and Saturday of this week. And if you join the Oregon Science Teachers Association as a free member, which I can give you, I will actually post the code for that. So you get it for free while you're a student, then you can actually do the conference for $10, which is a huge deal. You will never, ever get to attend conference for that price. So they have some really good conference speakers. One particularly that I've seen a few times who is phenomenal is Oki Lee. She's doing one of the featured conference speaking sessions. You can sign up for this and register. You get to pick your actual workshops that you participate in and choose. Maybe you just go to one, maybe you go to several, both days on the 9th and 10th. And it's a good way to start to get to know what are the professional organizations and resources that are available in Oregon. So I've also posted a few other ones. There's the Oregon National Resource Education Program. They provide free workshops to formal and informal educators, and they have a list here that of upcoming workshops that are going to be offered. There's also some webinars that are offered through the NSTA Learning Center. There's actually one coming up that the Oregon Science Teachers Association is putting on that is free to members, and actually it's free to everyone, but they prefer you log in and be a member. So while it's free, I would do that. So using data science to bridge math and science is the webcast they're doing. If you want to choose something other than that, just email me and let me know before you sign up just so I can approve it. It should be something that's relevant to STEM technology or teaching STEM. It should be provided by a reputable agency or source, and will it provide you with new information and resources that will help you grow as a STEM professional? So thinking about those questions as you determine what professional PD that you're going to participate in. So once you have participated in that, you are going to, for your submission, you're going to create a video, no more than 10 minutes. You can use the same program I'm using currently, which is Screencast-O-Matic. That will allow you to record both yourself and your screen. So I would, create some artifacts from your professional development, maybe screenshots, pictures, supplementary materials that were provided. And you will include those in your video. You can upload this video on YouTube and then just submit the link to us. You will also add in the submission any supplemental materials, so that as we do this, present this during finals week, we'll do this as a gallery walk through presentations during finals week. And so these will be available, these presentations will be available online to your classmates so they can see what you learned in your PD and hopefully engage in several different kinds of resources. So that is your professional projects assignment and something you should be working on throughout the term. And so I wanted to make sure you got that information in time to participate in the Oregon Science Teachers Association conference if that's something you're interested in doing. So the other project that I wanted you to start thinking about is coming up in week 3, I think it is. No, I think it's week 4. You actually have your first project that's called an applied technology project. And so for that one, you're going to actually choose one of the technologies that we're kind of previewing, or one of the other ones that's on the list for this term, or one that you've found really interesting, and you're going to create a lesson plan for how you would use that in your classroom. So just know that that's coming up. I will actually have that week 4 up this afternoon, and so you'll be able to take a look at that. So be watching for the week 4 and looking at the applied technology project. So with that, we will dive into week 2. So this week we're looking at simulations, and so you're going to evaluate a simulation. You get to choose which one you want to pick. I've given you a list of popular simulation websites to get you started, but if you know some really great simulations maybe you've used or are interested in using, here's something you might want to think about when choosing this. If you have begun to think about your STEM unit and what you want to address in your STEM unit, then this might be a simulation you pick that will be relevant to that. So if you haven't started to think about your STEM unit, you might want to check out that project under the course projects and begin to think about what's the science standard that you want to address, what's the technology standard, what's the math standard, and begin to think about how can I use technology to enhance my unit. So a simulation is a good choice at times, along with a lot of other things we're studying this term. So if you pick a different site, that's okay. Just make sure that it actually is something that is free and that students will be able to access from the classroom and will be used to, hopefully support science instruction. So you're going to evaluate that simulation, and that's what you'll submit here. Think about questions like ease of implementation, what's the technology required, how is it relevant to your content area, and what are the student skills needed to complete the simulation. So you're going to submit your evaluation like a review for your classmates, and it will go directly in the text entry in this discussion. And then please respond to 2 other students' posts as well. So you also have, as kind of piggyback on that, is you have the week 2 simulation project. So I would do the discussion after you actually do this project. So again, picking a simulation, you're going to go through it like you would as a student. You're going to take some screenshots. You're going to collect any supplemental materials that are needed. You're going to write a summary, so that rather than just an evaluation or a review, you're going to actually describe the simulation, and then a brief analysis of the choice that describes and evaluates the use of it. So this you will submit as a paper and include your screenshots on Canvas. So again, here's a link to the popular science simulation websites. So your last assignment for week 3 is the reading. So I've included some reading for week 2. Actually, there's a video, there's some information on NSTA's position on STEM education, and then why K through 12 science standards matter. And so your reading response this week is about why is it important to teach STEM? What are the skills that students acquire when engaging in authentic STEM? How and why were the NGSS standards developed? And you're going to answer these questions using a Flipgrid video. So this week, the technology for your reading response is a Flipgrid video. So those of you that did your intro videos have already had a little practice, and those that haven't will have to practice now. And again, this is just another technology you might consider using with your students to engage them in maybe alternative assessment, like rather than having them complete a worksheet, they could actually describe what they know or what they've learned using a Flipgrid video. And let me tell you, K-12 students love videos. Well, maybe not so much at the high school level, but they actually prefer them over writing. So think about using that and how you might use it in your classroom as well as how we're using it in our class. So that's it for week 2. Hope you're engaging in some fun science, and I look forward to maybe connecting with you on Zoom. I did post, one last thing, I did post in Module 2 a quick, and you can't see it yet because I haven't made it public, but I will. So in week 2, you're also going to have a quick Google form that asks you about connecting by Zoom. So that's it. See you next week.